Ladies first. The last time we were here in Paris, I took Z's mom on a food tour around the city with our good friend Ben, who is a local tour guide, and it was awesome.
I didn't get to be a part of that. I'm very jealous. I was working.
Ben also told me a story about when he gave us a tour of the Louvre. One time, we were walking around and they closed, and the security guards just said, look, if you want to stay a little longer. So we ended up walking around the Louvre at night. It was closed and the lights were off, and Ben, our tour guide, was even more.
What if one simple interview revealed more about the future of Spider-Man than anyone expected? Tom Holland and Zendaya recently sat down for what seemed like a fun promotional interview. But as the conversation unfolded, it became much more than that. From hilarious stories in Paris to emotional family moments and exciting hints about the future of Spider-Man, this interview had everything Marvel fans could ask for. The biggest surprise came when Tom Holland addressed the future of the Spider-Man franchise with a statement that immediately caught fans' attention. Whatever happens with Spider-Man, it'll be very bright. It'll be great and lovely no matter what. That single sentence has sparked countless discussions online. So today, we're breaking down every unforgettable moment from this interview and why fans believe it could be hinting at something much bigger. The interview begins with a lighthearted question about Paris. Instead of talking about movie premieres or celebrity events, Tom Holland shares a personal story that instantly makes everyone smile. He remembers the last time he visited Paris with Zendaya. During that trip, he joined Zendaya's mother for a special food tour around the city. Their guide was a close friend named Ben, a local tour guide who showed them some of Paris's best hidden food spots. Tom laughs as he remembers how much fun they had exploring the city together. Before he can finish the story, Zendaya quickly interrupts with a smile. She reveals that she wasn't even part of that adventure. "I was working," she jokes. Then she admits she was actually jealous that she missed out. That playful exchange perfectly captures why fans love watching these two together. Their conversations never feel rehearsed. They tease each other naturally, laugh together, and make even ordinary stories entertaining. Tom then shares another incredible memory from that same Paris trip. Their guide, Ben, managed to give them an experience that very few people will ever have. While visiting the Louvre Museum, security allowed them to stay after closing time. Imagine walking through one of the most famous museums in the world.
No crowds, no tourists, no noise.
Just endless galleries filled with priceless artwork. Tom describes how surreal the experience felt. Interestingly, he says Ben, their tour guide, was even more excited than they were. For him, it was a dream come true. It wasn't just another tour. It became a once-in-a-lifetime memory for everyone involved. Tom then reveals something that makes the entire room laugh. At the time, Ben wasn't just a tour guide. He was also a school teacher. The next day, Ben told his students that he had spent the day showing Tom Holland and Zendaya around Paris. Nobody believed him. His students thought he was joking. But everything changed once photos started appearing online. Suddenly, the entire class realized their teacher had been telling the truth. Tom laughs while remembering how they even invited Ben to dinner afterward, and later he attended one of their movie premieres. That's when Tom affectionately calls him our French friend. It may sound like a small detail, but it perfectly shows how Tom and Zendaya often build genuine friendships wherever they travel. The interviewer then asks Tom if he knows how to say Spider-Man's iconic line in French. "With great power comes great responsibility." Tom confidently agrees to try. Within seconds, he completely struggles with the pronunciation. The word responsibility becomes a tongue twister. Everyone bursts into laughter. Tom laughs at himself and jokingly says they probably need Timothée Chalamet to help. It becomes one of the funniest moments of the interview. The conversation suddenly becomes much more emotional. Zendaya shares a touching story about her mother visiting the set of the new Spider-Man movie. Her mother didn't know what scene was being filmed. She had no spoilers, no context. She simply came to watch her daughter work. As filming continued, the emotional scene completely surprised her. Tom remembers that day clearly. He explains it wasn't just emotional for Zendaya's mother. It became an emotional day for everyone on set. After filming ended, Zendaya asked her mother what she thought. Her reaction was simple. She was speechless. Sometimes, silence says more than words ever could. Finally, the interviewer asks the biggest question of the day. Would both of you return for a fifth Spider-Man movie? The room becomes noticeably quieter. Tom pauses before answering. He says both of them would absolutely love to return. But he also admits that the future isn't completely clear yet. Then he delivers the quote that immediately spread across social media. After discussing the future of Spider-Man, the interview shifts to something fans rarely get to hear about what really happens behind the scenes while making a Marvel movie. Tom Holland is asked to share a fun story about Zendaya during filming. Without hesitation, he smiles and says that Zendaya took a lot of ownership of her costume in this movie. It wasn't about wearing the flashiest outfit or trying to stand out. Instead, Zendaya wanted her character to feel real. She kept the look simple. A white button-up shirt. A pair of jeans. Nothing over the top. When Tom compliments her costume, Zendaya laughs and replies, "We just kept it simple. Little white button-up, some jeans. Can't go wrong with that." It may seem like a small conversation, but it tells fans something important. The biggest stars in Hollywood don't always believe bigger is better. Sometimes the most memorable characters are created through simplicity. Zendaya has always been known for carefully thinking about every role she plays. Whether it's her performances in Spider-Man, Euphoria, or Dune, she focuses on making each character feel authentic. This small behind-the-scenes detail proves that even wardrobe choices are part of that process. It's one of the reasons audiences connect so strongly with her performances. The spotlight then turns to Jacob Batalon, who has played Peter Parker's best friend, Ned Leeds, since the very beginning of Tom Holland's Spider-Man journey. When asked to share a funny story about Tom and Zendaya, Jacob doesn't disappoint. Instead of talking about action scenes or special effects, he reveals what filming is actually like when the cameras aren't rolling. According to Jacob, the three actors are constantly joking around. Sometimes it's him and Tom making jokes. Sometimes it's him and Zendaya laughing together. And other times, Tom and Zendaya become completely distracted by each other. Jacob laughs as he describes the situation. Everyone is supposed to be preparing for the next scene. But instead, someone starts joking. Someone forgets the script. And suddenly everyone is laughing. For longtime fans, this isn't surprising at all. Their friendship has always been one of the biggest reasons the Spider-Man movies feel so natural. What audiences see on screen isn't fake chemistry. It's built on years of genuine friendship behind the camera. Jacob then shares another hilarious behind-the-scenes moment involving director Destin Daniel Cretton. He explains that the director probably expected a professional and focused environment every day. Instead, he walked onto a set filled with non-stop jokes and laughter. Jacob remembers looking over and seeing Destin trying to stay patient. The director thought everything was funny, but at the same time, he still had a movie to finish. Jacob jokes that there were moments when Destin probably wanted to say, "Guys, we're still shooting a movie. Can you please say your lines?" Everyone bursts into laughter. It perfectly captures the atmosphere on set. Despite working on one of the biggest superhero franchises in the world, the cast never lost the ability to enjoy themselves. And perhaps that's exactly why the Spider-Man films have always felt different from many other superhero movies. The friendships aren't manufactured. They're real. Listening to Tom, Zendaya, and Jacob talk together, one thing becomes incredibly clear. This isn't just a cast. It's a family. They've spent years growing together. They experienced global fame at almost the same time. They watched their lives change overnight. They celebrated premieres together, faced criticism together, learned from each other, and supported one another through every chapter. That shared history can't be written into a script. It develops naturally over time. Every joke they make, every memory they share, every time they interrupt one another with laughter. It reminds fans why their chemistry feels so believable on screen. They're not pretending to be close. They actually are. Of course, no Spider-Man interview would be complete without speculation about what's next. Although Tom Holland avoids revealing any spoilers, his comments leave fans feeling optimistic. He doesn't promise another movie. He doesn't announce any major Marvel plans. Instead, he simply expresses confidence. Confidence that Spider-Man's future remains bright. For fans, that's incredibly reassuring. After the emotional ending of Spider-Man, No Way Home, many people wondered whether Peter Parker's story had finally reached its conclusion. Tom's latest comments suggest otherwise. Even if details remain secret, it sounds like exciting plans are still being discussed. Marvel Studios has always been known for keeping surprises hidden until the perfect moment. Perhaps this interview is another example of that. The biggest takeaway from this interview isn't actually about Spider-Man. It's about authenticity. In an industry where many celebrity interviews feel rehearsed, Tom Holland and Zendaya continue to be refreshingly genuine. They laugh at themselves. They tell embarrassing stories. They celebrate their friends. They appreciate their families. And they never forget the people who helped them along the way. Whether it's remembering a school teacher who became their tour guide, laughing over a difficult French pronunciation, or sharing emotional memories from a movie set, every story feels real. That's why millions of people continue to support them. Not just because they're talented actors, but because they remain relatable despite their enormous success. As the interview comes to an end, one message stands above everything else. Tom Holland may not have officially confirmed another Spider-Man movie, but his optimism speaks volumes. His words suggest that no matter what direction Marvel chooses, the future of Spider-Man is in good hands. And if Tom, Zendaya, and Jacob return together once again, fans around the world will be more than ready. Until then, interviews like this remind us why audiences fell in love with this cast in the first place. Not because of the costumes, not because of the visual effects, but because behind every superhero movie is a group of friends who genuinely enjoy creating something special together. And maybe that's the greatest Spider-Man story of all.